Alright, good evening everyone. System Chalk here with the 40th episode of Cultist Simulator, the Detective Legacy, playing as Ivan Vucetich and doing what I've called the Librarian run, in which we get one copy of every text by the end of the run. Obviously, I am not counting the translated and untranslated texts as separate ones. It's basically the book itself that matters. So we unexpectedly got a right, and we have kind of had our proof of concept here in terms of being able to do certain summons, and I'm willing to guess that by the end of this we are actually going to be able to summon everything in this game. I was originally thinking that the one summon I was going to want was Valdemara, which I don't normally summon, but I would have actually been able to use her to learn Fucine, and then it occurred to me that if I can't get the right, which I thought I was going to be getting from a different text, and then it turns out that it does actually keep track of duplicates. But yeah, so I was sort of... I'd thought that that was going to be the path that I took, and oddly enough, it was actually the fact that I could learn Fucine from a duplicated text, which gave me the right that I would need to summon Valdemara. So in this case, I don't have the reason to summon her that I did, but again, I'm happy that it turned out that way. So in this case, the Callagine isn't really useful to us because we didn't need to destroy the evidence after all. We will bring it along for the Hebe Stanton, not for any reason other than just I want to preserve it. Although I'm not going to fall into the habit of keeping my, I'm not going to I'm not going to constantly explore locations. I think the fact that we've got a troublemaker running around is enough to keep me honest as far as the locations are concerned. So, let's finish off. Finish off our studies. I may need to talk with Sulochana about the dread, which means I won't be able to use the Callagine. And I'm gonna keep a lid on my job once this finishes. Hebe is a ship. In fact, many ships have borne that name over the centuries. All of them have provided transport and accommodation to those who know something of the invisible world, and none of them show up in shipping records. But I've learnt that the steamer Hebe Stanton is docking soon in a grimy and unregarded port in a northern island. I could send someone to purloin unwatched occult luggage. Okay, the Hebe Stanton, a battered but surprisingly plush steamer, much used by actors fleeing scandal, by shy millionaires, by occult scholars who feel safer with moving water under them, and just once by the Legia Club, who chartered the whole ship for the use of 7 cabins. Alright, Callagine. We'll definitely bring a heart follower for the water. It is rare for passenger vessels to visit the grim island where the Hebe Stanton is docking, but we can charter a fishing boat and trust the sea behaves. The real work of passing guards and doors will begin when we get on board. Expeditions need at least 1 funds per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles. If you run out of funds or followers, the expedition ends. Okay. It may be overkill, but we are going to talk with Sulichan about the dread just in case. So we wait 21 seconds before we pursue the troublemaker, and that's just to make sure they don't get picked up by the seasonal missions. The air is curdled now. I'm home again in this lumpen flesh. Better, perhaps. I suppose it's not as big of a threat, given that it's just Karashim on the table, but I don't know, we'll still keep him around. Wisdom is a country, and these are its maps. So again, my expectation here is... Yeah, so we've got the library. Am I a complete idiot? Well. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So we'll start with the heart. We'll add... yeah, we've got plenty of moths, so we'll add a moth follower. And then the warded door will add a forge follower. I just need to make sure that I keep adding money to it as well. And Dread's coming up, so that's going to be a liability when it comes time for the study. So I think what's going to happen here, this will probably spawn a second one. Oh, they are going to go for the location. So we can try and get Valsine, or... Actually, let's get Eldridge or Victor to design a trap in this case. I'm going to need my forge team for the ship. Okay, we call upon the Sister and Witch, who cannot be touched. Storms rise for the Thunderskin and subside for the Sister. The right words should carry us safe across the sea. Create a snare to delay or defeat a rival. Rivals are cautious. They don't prowl the streets like hunters. To defeat one, we must prepare a trap and await our opportunity. Alright, so obviously there's a worry when it comes to fascination, but this is still worth going for. We did just have a fascination, so this will probably be Secret Histories Plus. Cool. Sorry, I call it Secret Histories Plus in my notes here. Now, I did say I thought I saw Edge in the Ascent of Knives, but given what we saw there with Grail, maybe. I put the question mark for a reason, so. There's a great chamber in the Manses through which a painted river flows. The vagabond, it is claimed, painted it from memory in the years before she left the house. Certainly, there are histories concealed in its design. I traced them with my hand last night. There were fragments of aquamarine paint beneath my nails, flecks of gold leaf when I was done. Okay, here's another who would ascend before me. My rival seeks tools and lore for their own ascension. So, no reason to mess around with Dream other than to go to the Stag Door. We'll have an opportunity to go higher, to places like this, excuse me, the Spider's Door and such, but for now I'll settle for kind of a trove of forbidden epics. Okay, fascination. Oh god, alright, so that's potentially 3 dread on the table right now, and we don't have a way of generating contentment because we're going to be on the Hebe Stanton for a while. So, progress, the constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I've made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. So once the snare is generated, I'm going to need to get rid of one of the... There's a few things I'm going to do. One, I'm going to paint. This may generate a fascination, actually, but... let's use... I guess heart is still the most helpful, so we'll use Leo for the painting. Something to remember them by, perhaps. Alright, challenge illumination. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. So this would have sunk us anyway because this particular challenge needed fascination. Oh, but I had rarefied mind. Right. So that was the one that tripped me up. Colors of the Night. We might as well pay for them again. We've got more money than we know what to do with. The expedition continues. Okay, so I'll wait before adding a... Slowly my clenched fists relax. I'll slide back into sleep, but something will remain like spider webs in the corner of the room. Okay, 30 seconds. This one's very likely going to be fascination, and honestly, I can't risk it, right? Well, There is a very narrow case where fascination would actually be helpful, but I don't want to risk it here. So we'll take the Forgotten Chronicle. Okay, so we'll get a vision and a better atmosphere. Either way, this was still the right call because we can level up with this. And I'm sorry, I should have read the text. I'm going to leave the dream slot open because I'm gonna want to take advantage of a number of different things. Right, there it is. Is that it? All that I am is here. So, as soon as Explore becomes available, I want to go to the... Created something both distinctive and beautiful, and may very likely enhance my reputation. Wonderful. My recent work has attracted a couple of callers. With luck, something will sell. So, mystique is an unfortunate side effect. As is the fascination. So we're going to get hit by that, but because this turns into a fleeting reminiscence, we're covered. In fact, we can go to the stag door. So this turns into fleeting reminiscence, which goes into fascination. And as a consequence, if we do generate a fascination, we're still covered. So my follower has prepared a stratagem which, with considerable luck, might defeat a rival's plans. So again, the mystique was the price we paid to be able to cure what ails us. So we need Leo to clear that out now. Oop, against the Watchers, a likely deception. Awake, awake, they're upon us. That way, quickly. So let's add Sylvia to help out the deception. Closer, closer still. Closer. Keep looking closer. Now close your eyes. Watchers' confusion, their bewilderment is our opportunity. We will pass in silent secrecy. I built the snare and I completely forgot to trigger it. Alright. All shall be opened. When we open a thing, we learn its nature. I've deepened my understanding of the lore that opens, which we call by its aspect knock. And the dread didn't breed, so yeah, I got careless on a couple of things, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Okay, so the Menascate Invocation, when the moon's face was wounded, these words appeared. Nearly every summoning rite requires knock influence. This will provide it. We need erudition or an HQ with a library. Grim lessons, so that will require dread. And then I'm going to use the Geminid Invocation here. So the Sisterin Witch has always been invoked for protection at Crossroads and at Moonrise when the land shelters, where the land shelters the sea. Use this in a rite with a Byzantine Tinct and a Meteoric Bullet or other resources of equal power to summon a Percussicant. That will require practical experimentation, so that's also health. And Intuition, which will require Glimmerings, which we currently have. Okay, so basically, as long as I preserve the dread, I can do this. Unfortunately, I can't. But let's go as far as we can. Well, okay, I've got 0.1, but there's no way I'm going to be able to keep that afloat. So let's go Menascate Invocation. Geminate Invocation. Study the lore which opens. There are incantations of unseeming, where the space between the worlds is as potent as actual syllables. When a thing is opened, we will know its nature. My rival has advanced their cause. Whatever they've sought here, they've found it. Okay, our expedition plans for the next challenge. How do I feel about fascination now? So, whenever we've had Forge, I don't think it's ever had a secret history. In fact, every time we've had Forge, it's resulted in a fascination, but that can't be right. I'm gonna go for it. Yep, Forbidden Epic. Oh, but I didn't see the other one. There is a great chamber in the manses through which a painted river flows. The vagabond, it is claimed, painted it from memory in the years before she left the house. Certainly, there are histories concealed in its design. I traced them with my hand last night. There were fragments of aquamarine paint beneath my nails, flecks of gold leaf when I was done. Yeah, had I been thinking, I could have gone to the spider door. We can wait on the... Oh, this is terrible. So I need Dread, but we're going to have another Season of Despair coming up. So, one thing I could do is keep spamming the Inspector's position to try and generate that Dread, but in this case I'm gonna leave it be. The Wolf Despair prowls elsewhere. No Dread empowers this despair. It's over for now. Oh, that's where the extra Dread... Oh no, sorry, that was the 9-second Dread. Okay, that's fine. Right, I was going to add money, I think. Because we already have 8 Forge, so it's just a matter of adding one to the Forge team. Almost certainly shatter this ward door, calling upon the Forge of Days, who will end all nights. No one understands us, or else they understand us too well. So let's keep using Leo here. Okay, this is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. Let me just double check. I do have an... Actually, let's just use the erudition full stop, because we're going to lose it anyway. We'll also likely lose the glimmering, but that's another question. Okay, they're at 3, so I'm not too worried. They're a rival now, not a troublemaker. I can arrest them, I suppose. Actually, maybe that'll provoke the dread. Let's just give this a minute. Yeah, here I think I'm going to use the damning evidence. We'll... you know what? We'll go full flavor. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm saying if that means anything. So the idea here is that, I don't know if this makes it any more likely that I'm going to get the dread. But it does at least get rid of the inconvenient character. Okay, knock. This would be good for a percussigan. Of the place my dreams took me last night, this has been written. The ascent is glass, the walls are knives, each step is blood. I did not climb far. The pain was too great. When I woke, that pain remained with me, a pain I could employ to occult purposes if I hurry. Anger is implicit in every shape. Okay. Again, until we get our knockback, nothing else for us to do but go through the stag door. Treasures lie before us. Provide a glimmering or use a sanctuary. Okay, so it looks like the Grim lesson's going to be the last one. All doors must open as all lives must end. This door found its end here today. Okay, another fascination on the way, but we don't need to worry about it because we've got plenty of fleeting reminiscences. And a cozy nest. There are few passengers on board. No wonder if this cheerily icy isle was the ship's destination. But there's at least one passenger, someone who had protected their cabin door with more than physical locks. They must have gone ashore. They might return at any moment. So I'd always been under the impression that there were duplicates on the Hebe Stanton, but when I looked into it, so if I bring up my sheet... Oh, did I really close all this? Okay, sorry, just a second here. So when I take a look at the Hebe, it says Ceaseless Tantra, Fire Circle Tantra, Incandescent Tantra, and Leonine Tantra, none of which are found anywhere else. Optimism is the spice which saves. Aha, there it is. Is that it? You have resolved an intuition challenge. That also confirms for me that it is possible that there's an edge with the secret histories. I've read that a couple times, so I'll leave that aside. Some of this may be rendered irrelevant if I wind up getting a lot of secret histories from the, you know, the spider's door, but let's not count that quite yet. Solving the case, I've turned over my evidence to the Assistant Director General of the Suppression Bureau. At this moment, I can assume hard-faced men in plain clothing are pounding on the door of my quarry. We empty the luggage, upend the books to shake them, turn pictures to check the backs. We find clothes, tickets, maps, nothing out of the ordinary, although there is a curious translucent material like a sheet of snakeskin draped over the chair back. At last, when we slash the mattress to search its stuffing, we find a little collection of ivory scroll cases. So the Incandescent Tantra. Michael Blockley, the eccentric iron magnate, was fond of quoting from this tantra. Blockley died in a factory fire. The Fire Circle Tantra. The one known extant copy of this in Western Europe was stolen from the British Library in 1892, when Harvey Haddington confessed to the crime and claimed to have eaten it with butter and garlic in a moment of ungovernable whimsy. The Leonine Tantra. In the most notorious translation of the Leonine Tantra, Ashley Phillips is listed as the translator, but their existence is explicitly denied in the prologue. This confusion is characteristic of books which mention the Great Hooded Princes. And the Ceaseless Tantra. The avant-garde choreographer Nicholas Kirill supposedly incorporated this tantra into his menacing ballets. Alright. Let's go follow up on another Forbidden Epic. So we've only done Grunwald's Circus. Let me just take a minute here. So... do I really have the Sky of the Soul? Sunset Passages. This doesn't make sense. Excuse me. The books I have... Ah. I think I see. So History of Shadowless Kings, Ivory Book, and Sunset Passages are the ones I found, but I've listed that as Land 3. Okay. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, uncover locations in the land beyond the forest. Those stories that have been forbidden are the ones most apt for us to read. I'm probably not going to actually get the expedition started by the end of this... Well, I don't know, we have a few minutes left, but I just want to get everything queued up. Grim Lessons. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. Provide dread, use a pit, or use the silent intensity skill. Dread may breed. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have any of those, so we will take our lumps and move on. Another miscreant. Will it ever end? Can we ever call the law, the city, the world safe? The Suppression Bureau holds their trials in closed court, and they are not merciful. My quarry disappears from the world. I have earned myself a promotion. So I am actually looking to... I am looking to get some dread now, so I'm going to keep following up on that. As far as restlessness is concerned, actually no, there will be a troublemaker. Ooh, that'll be hard to handle, actually, because they're almost certainly gonna get picked up by that right away. Crumbs. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Okay, so I think probably... I don't know if it's gonna be a fascination or not, but I don't think it's gonna be a secret histories, so... Sorry, let me just write this down. I always get it wrong if I don't write the first one down. This would be interesting to experiment with. This would be interesting to experiment with as far as summonings go. I don't know, I just don't think it's worth it here. It did also occur to me I can't resummon the Callagine because this does not allow me to use an individual. Anyways, the Ascent of Knives is called the Sharp Stair and the Mother of Mirrors and the Feast of the Grail. If one is to look beneath the stair, as I did last night in my dreams, one understands that last name. It draws a tithe of blood from the feet of those who ascend. And Pausai, some shaped like men, many shaped like women, wait beneath the glass of the stairs to satisfy their hunger. I did not approach, I made no sound, I only observed. So we pretty much want to do the expedition right away. Okay, the Cave of Candles. Every seventh sunset, the cunning man comes from the village below to renew the candles. The floor floor of the entrance chamber is slick of stinking wax. He claims the light keeps the creature below cowed, but more likely the sacrifices he keeps keep it too sated to emerge. And yeah, I think we've only got a minute left on this, so I think I'll save it. I tend to notice, for myself at least, I like to read all the text from sort of the start, where I can, from the start of the episode to the end. And given the fact that there's going to be the weekend, probably it's nice to have a refresher. But it seems to me that this is one where we would add Neville or Enid. They're both keys, so in this case it's 10 knock no matter what. I will add the Callagine just because we want to keep it alive. So again, one of the drawbacks about the Rite of Crow's quenching is going to be that I don't get the easy resummon. And a consequence of that is going to mean that I will actually start running out of ingredients to summon things with. But we have an easy answer for getting that right. Like, we've got some leftover Karashim. We've certainly got no shortage of secret histories. If it really comes down to being able to summon something, we have a fairly reliable way of getting the ingredients that we need. Comes at the expense of notoriety, but we have a system for dealing with notoriety, so I think we're good there. As for the rest of it, I mean, in terms of total locations, we're now at the land beyond the forest, but more importantly, I think we have a real shot of making it to the Peacock Door. And if that happens, that actually means we don't need to spend so much time studying to move the lore up. We will, right? Like, because the study verb at this point is only going to be spent improving, well, once we get, right now we're trying to convert the heart into knock. But basically, once we do that, the only real purpose for the study verb is going to be to either level up secret histories into higher level secret histories, or it's going to be to generate glimmering for leveling up secret histories. So, overall, I'd say we're in a better position for improving our secret histories than we would be in a normal playthrough, because in the normal playthrough you have that horribly inconvenient job of actually reading the books you get. So, I'm actually really looking forward to how we wrap this up. Now, obviously, it's still going to take a number of episodes, but I don't know. Like, I was a little concerned that there weren't going to be enough twists and turns to keep people's interest. And I think the fact that there's this unexpected result that's opened up a few possibilities, I think there's some possibilities here. So I'm at least feeling really enthusiastic about the playthrough. Like, there was always a level of interest in this playthrough for me. I wouldn't have continued doing it if there wasn't. But I'm definitely feeling here a particular enthusiasm that I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I'm really interested in seeing where this goes now, because there are a couple of avenues that I hadn't considered that are now available, and I don't think there's going to be like a huge consequence to it. Like, I don't want to overstate what this has given me, but I do think that there are a couple of other things that I'm going to be able to explore that I don't normally do in this game. And to me, that's always an interesting place to be, because again, there's not a lot of games that you have in your library where you can say that, you're finding new things or being able to appreciate it in a new light after this period of time. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on Monday for another entry in the story of Ivan Vucetich, the detective doing the Librarian run. Take care.